Hi everyone, Emily Laval here. This week's art exploration, I'm going to be talking about Pablo Picasso. So here are a few of Pablo Picasso's famous artworks. I'm sure almost all of you have heard of his name and have an idea of what his art is like, since he is one of the most famous artists to ever have lived. So Pablo Picasso, like I said, was probably one of the most recognizable and famous artists of all times. Picasso was born in Spain in 1881, and he was considered a child prodigy from a young age. He was fully trained and working as a professional artist by the age of 19, and he spent most of his adult life working as an artist in France, and namely in Paris. So over the course of his career, he created over 22,000 paintings, drawings, sculptures, and other works of arts like costumes and set pieces for plays. He is responsible for co-founding the Cubist movement. And Cubism, subjects and objects are broken up into pieces and rearranged in abstract form. So many Cubist artworks kind of resemble what looks like broken glass. So the elementary child art lesson that I'm going to be talking about today is called Fractured Friend. And it's one of the lessons in discovering great artists' hands-on art for children in the styles of the great masters that we're using for this assignment. So the materials that are needed are white drawing paper, 9 by 12, paints and brushes, drawing paper in any color, also 9 by 12, scissors, and white glue. And then optionally, you have the choice of giving the children some collage items like strings or buttons or textured paper and stuff like that to adhere at the very end. So the first step is that the artist draws or paints the friend, so a partner in the class, as the partner sits across from them. And the art doesn't have to look exactly like the friend. So once they're done with their painting, they're going to let it dry overnight. And it's good to note that if the paper comes wrinkled, you can just iron it out to make it lay flat for the next step. So step 2, you're going to mark out some lines and some shapes, kind of like puzzle pieces on the paintings, using squares and triangles and other cubist shapes as they work the best for this assignment. Step 3, the children are going to cut the painting apart on or near the lines. And the pieces should be bold, not small, and they can even be sketchy or wiggly, and they don't need to be straight. And then step 4, the child is going to glue the pieces of the painting back onto the other piece of paper. And they can be glued in any order, in order, out of order, and upside down pieces work really well too. And then once everything's glued down to a piece of paper, you have the option of adding those collage items that I talked about before, strings, buttons, textured paper, anything that they can think of. I did not do that in my example because I didn't have anything at home. But as you can see, I rearranged the pieces to make something look a little bit different. And your students will be great little artists in this activity, and Picasso would be proud.